Hi everyone, so welcome back to our new video. Today's Leetcode daily challenge is largest odd number in string. This is an easy level question. Okay, now let's see the problem description. So in this problem, we have been given a string which is called num. Okay, and it is representing a large integer. And what we need to do is we need to return the largest valued odd integer, that is a non-empty substring of num, or an empty substring if no odd integer exists. Now they have told that what a substring is. What is a substring? Basically it is a continuous sequence of characters within a string. So if we have, let's say, and, okay, so a substring of and will be an or nd. AD cannot be a substring. Okay, so what it means here is that a substring is a continuous sequence of characters within a string. Now what we need to do here, like we have been given a string, right? And what we need to do, we need to return the largest valued odd integer. That means that it can be 5, it can be 35, it can be 37, it can be 547. Anything is possible, right? Now let's see with an example. Like we have been given here 52, right? Now we have 52 also. Now in this the largest odd integer is 5, right? Because if it was 55, then we would have written 55 itself. But here what we have 2 at the last index, so that means that 52 as a whole is an even number, right? So we need to return only 5 here. So the output that will be returned here is 5. Now in the second example they have given us 4206. In this 4 is also even, 2 is also even, 0 is also even, and 6 is also even. So they told us that if there is no odd integer, then we need to return an empty string. So we will just return an empty string. Now let's see the third example. In this example we have 33, 5, 4, 2, 7. In this 3, 5 and 7 all are odd, right? 3, 5, 4, 2, 7. In this all are odd, right? Now when we, if we start from this index, okay, we see that we have 3. Now when we move on to 5, we see that it is a value greater than 3, right? Now when we move on to 4, we see that we have an even integer. So when we now we move forward, right? And we see that again we have an even integer, but at last we have an odd integer, right? So what is happening here? The number as a whole is an odd integer, right? The number as a whole is an odd integer. So what we have to do, we will be returning this entire string. Now if we started from the first index, then the chances of losing our pointers with the help with the even and odd integer is very high, because like we had here 35427, right? Now when we started from this, we checked that it is 35, right? Now we came to 5, we came here, then we saw that there is 4. We, and in this even integer, the problem was that we don't need this. But in order to have the largest integer, there is possibility that after this 4 there was a presence of 3. Then what would have been done? So in order to avoid this, we know that any odd integer will be ending with a odd number, right? Means here like we have 7, it is an odd number, right? And this entire number is odd because of the 7 here, right? Now what we will do, therefore we will start iterating from the back, and we will see that our number lies between 1, 3, 5 or 7 or 9 or not. If it is one if it is in varying between these numbers, then the number from the starting to that index, right, will be odd only. Like here we had, let's take for an example, 352. Okay, now we started from this index, we see that this is a even number, this is an even number. So we move forward, we see that this is an odd number. Now since 5 is an odd number, that means whatever number is before that, let's say it was 4 here and 2 here, okay, so whatever number are before that, it doesn't matter, right? We just need the last index to see that it is odd or not. As soon as we got to know that it is 5 at this index, so what we can say that 2 4 3 5 is an odd number, right? So what we will do, we will take the entire string from 0 to that index, whatever index we are on. So now we understood that what is happening in this question. Let's move on to the approach. So basically, in the approach, what we saw, we were starting the iteration from the back, right, or the end of the integer. So our integer, the iteration was starting from n minus 1, and it was continuing till I is equals to 0, right? So I is greater than or equals to 0, and I plus plus, I minus minus, because we are iterating in the opposite one, opposite direction. Now we have the loop. Now what we need to see, if let's say this is num, right? So what we need to see, if num of I is equals 1, or num of I is equals 3, or num of I is equals 5, or num, in the same way we will check for 7 and 9 also. Now we have checked that any of the character is equals to these numbers or not, right? Now if we found this, then what we have to do, we will simply return the number from 0 to whatever the value this string is on. Like if we have 2 3 4 5 7, okay, 2 3 4 5 6, let's say, okay, so 0 1 2 3 4, this is on fourth index, right? Now this is an even number, so we will leave it out. We will move on to the third index. Now we see that this is an odd number, that means we need this entire string or substring, right? So what we have to return, we have to return the string from 0 to third index. So what we will do, we will return the value from 0 to I plus 1. Why we are using here I plus 1? Because the value here will be uh, ready will be returned till I minus 1. That means it will be returned till I only. That's why we are using I plus 1. And if we come out of this loop and none of this satisfied, that means we never found a number which was equals to 1 3 5 or 7 or 9. So simply what we need to do, we need to return empty string, right? So when we didn't find anything out of the loop, we will return empty string. Now let's move on to the code, so whatever little doubts are there will be cleared with it. So let's move on to the code. Now here we have a reverse loop, so I will start iterating in a reverse loop. It will start from n minus 1 and continue till 0. And here we have a reverse loop. Now what we need to do, we need to check if our character at that index is equals 1, or 1, or 3, or 5, or 7, or 9. Now we have these values. Now what we need to do, if we found any of these values, then we will return the string from that index to the ith index. So we will take this here I plus 1, because it will take the integer from 0 to I only. Now if we didn't find anything, what we need to do, we need to return an empty string. So I will be returning an empty string here. Let's try to run it now. Okay, I didn't define the length of the string, so let's define the length of the string. Let's try to run it now. So the test cases have passed sample test cases. Let's try to submit it now. So this code has been accepted. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.